What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow and talk about why I think Tesla's going to take a bit of a dip, a slight dip, before this thing goes parabolic and starts to run really hard. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the FOMC meeting, the latest pieces of news involving Shanghai and Tesla, and also what Elon Musk, the man, the myth, the legend Elon Musk just liked on his Twitter page. That's very huge for Tesla's future. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about how this could affect Tesla's share price for tomorrow and the future, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull with the link down below and deposit any amount of money into the account, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You are guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. Once again, that's free money, and you could always sell those 5 free stocks for cash and use that money to buy some Tesla shares for free. This is a limited time offer that ends in just 9 days. Once again, it's almost over, so please check it out to get your free Tesla shares. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we could clearly see that we did have a bit of a green day to my surprise. I didn't expect it to be this bullish, but that may have been because of a big announcement they made, and also because the entire market is starting to recover a lot sooner than I had anticipated. Because I was telling you guys, as we approach the FOMC meeting, this white line right here is the FOMC meeting date, which is tomorrow. The meeting is going to start at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. And when the meeting starts, obviously there's going to be some shaky price action. But after, depending on what is announced, we are going to see either a rally or a crash in the market. But I think it's most likely, in fact, I think it's extremely likely we're going to rally after that. And why do I think that? Let's first talk about the context of tomorrow before I talk about any price predictions. Well, look at this right here. Jerome Powell is going to be speaking at the FOMC meeting, and he's going to announce the big monetary policy changes that they are going to be making. There are going to be changes to perhaps the balance sheet or something like that. Maybe not as dire or big as some people think, but the big thing on everyone's minds, the big thing that everyone that's watching this is going to be looking out for is the rate hike. To what degree are they going to raise the federal funds rates? Because this is going to affect how expensive it is to borrow money for everyone, whether you're a young person, whether you're someone in college, whether you are in, I don't know, if you have a business or if you're a massive multi-billionaire, everyone is affected by this. So right now, the market is expecting a 50 basis point rate hike or a 0.5 percentage point, rate hike. However, let's go over the possibilities first. So this is most likely what's going to happen. Many analysts believe that there's a 98+% chance of a 50 basis point rate hike, but if we are somehow surprised and it's a 25 basis point rate hike, that means the Fed is going to be more dovish and less aggressive, so the market would rally. So if you do see that 25 basis point rate hike, the market's going to rally really hard, but that's extremely unlikely. If it's a 75 basis point rate hike, if they increase the rates by 0.75%, the market is going to crash. Okay, you have to be on the lookout for that. But it's extremely unlikely, like I said before, according to many economists and analysts out there. And there's like a 98 or 99% chance we're going to get the 50 basis point rate hike. So if we get this, what's going to happen? Well, the answer is this: the market is it loves expectations being met. It loves certainty. And once we get the certainty in there, we could already see that it's already priced in. This is already priced in, which means that the market is going to be happy. And they also know that the Fed is actually going to be addressing inflation, which is going to be a bigger issue for the long term. So I expect the market to bounce and rally after this, as we are entering this FOMC meeting at such a low rate. I mean, look at the SPY. You can see the SPY has been hammered so hard compared to its all-time high and where it was just a couple of weeks ago. We could see this was at 462 back near the very beginning of April. We're all the way down at 405. So that's basically a crash we saw in the month of April. And right now, I expect the SPY to see a nice bounce and a bit of a relief rally relatively soon. So we kind of have this like mini gap right here on the SPY. I don't know if this is like a true gap, but there is this gap right here in the 425. So that's a very bullish indicator. And I do expect a nice bounce tomorrow. I think it's going to come. And I do think this is going to affect the whole market. I think many tech stocks out there, whether you're looking at ADM or even Netflix, I think a lot of tech stocks are going to start rallying, and that's going to include Tesla as well. Now, the last thing I want to say about Tesla is this. This is some breaking news that just came out. So Tesla announced, and this is something I mentioned in my previous video. I talked about how this may be not the best of news, but Tesla did have a loss of 50,000 units during the 22-day production halt in Shanghai. Now, a lot of people may have been upset over that, and Tesla knows that. So they ended up playing 3D chess. They ended up doing something amazing to actually turn the tables, and this is insane. So check this out right here. Yeah, they lost some cars, they lost some units. Okay, what are they going to do? Instead, they now stated that they're going to turn Shanghai into the world's largest vehicle export hub with a new factory. They're announcing a new potential factory. Now, I think I just clicked that, but if you go on Elon Musk's Twitter page, he just liked the tweet right here. Tesla plans to double Giga Shanghai output, making it the world's largest vehicle export hub. Once again, super, super, super bullish piece of news. So let me actually go back right here. This is going to be incredible news. So when I break this down, you can see why on earth is this so incredible. Let's just quickly go over this before I talk about the share price being affected by this. So right now, they want the new factory to be built that's capable of producing 450,000 EVs per year next to the existing plant. So a new factory, again, super, super bullish news. Now going down here, let me show you why this is so amazing. Along with Giga Shanghai, Tesla is also simultaneously planning a similar capacity in Berlin and Texas, but the company plans to also start with a capacity of 500,000 vehicles per year at each factory. We are talking about 1.5 to 2.5 million vehicles of annual production capacity to be added in the next 2 or 3 years. That is extremely huge expansion and very bullish for the long term of Tesla. I just wanted to announce this first because this was breaking news, and I do think that this is going to be a bullish catalyst going forward. So what's going to happen to Tesla's share price? So one of the first things you'll notice is I closed out other indicators to try to make this as simple as possible. Right here, each of these horizontal lines are support or resistance levels, the key ones that you should be looking out for. And also this white line right here is the FOMC meeting, the one that's vertical. And then obviously down here is the volume. Don't worry too much about the volume as of right now. We did see a very nice spike right here with the overall market, which is a very good sign. And right here we have the share price, right? I'm using the 2-hour chart. Here's what I think is going to happen. So if this thing starts to rally, remember this. I like to go over the key support and resistance levels because if you are a day trader, you should know where on earth support and resistance levels are. If Tesla starts to explode, we have some resistance. I think there's going to be some resistance at like 924. Then we have 934 as a resistance level. And then it appears we have a lot of room right here to really run hard. And we could actually run to about that $975 level. Now, there could be new resistance levels created, but as of right now, it looks really good. Then we have that 1,000 mark, which I believe Tesla is going to break within the next few weeks quite easily. Now, if we start to drop, remember, we're going to have support at 900 a share, 870, 848, and 820, maybe like 821.7. So around there. So right now, I think we're in a very, very good state right now. I think Tesla's looking very strong and very bullish. Now, one of the things you could do from a technical perspective is actually draw this out right over here. We can actually draw this trend line. So we are starting to show signs of some upward momentum that's kind of perpetuating, and that's a very good sign for us going forward. So what do I expect to be happening? So I think going into tomorrow, Tesla's going to actually trade a little bit sideways in the beginning. Then as we approach the time of the meeting, which is 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, Tesla's going to dip a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just got one last dip, We may dip to the high 800s. We could even touch 870, but I expect a very bullish bounce once Powell announces that 50 basis point rate hike. And I think we're going to end the day green. Tesla's going to rally, and we should close around, I would say, the 915 to 920 range, maybe even a little bit higher, closer to $930. Then after that, I expect by Thursday, Friday, maybe by next week, I expect this thing to start pushing up in a very, very dramatic way. And I think Tesla should be back in the 1000s very, very soon. You might think I'm crazy. You might think this makes no sense, but this is almost resembling a Wyckoff accumulation schematic right over here. We can see institutions have been accumulating more shares and they're ready to let this thing push to the upside. And I think it's looking pretty darn bullish right now. When you look at the SPY, right, you're going to see this right here. The SPY, like I said before, it got a nice bounce off 405 and it does look pretty bullish now. I do think the SPY is ready to start pushing to the upside as we're seeing a lot more volume kind of kicking in. And then we have this gap right here, which is an indicator that the SPY is going to be back in the 420s. And as a result, the market is going to rally, in my opinion. So as for Tesla, let's look at some other indicators real quick before I end this video. If you look at the RSI, you can see right here, Tesla was at that very low point just a couple of days ago. Now we're starting to slowly go up. I think I'm not seeing like perfect divergence just yet, but it's looking a lot better, and it does look pretty bullish now that we're starting to respect this upward trend. Another thing that's really big, let me actually bring up some other indicators. We have our moving averages. We also have the EMAs right over here, and then the MACD. So from right here, just off the 2-hour candles, you could see that Tesla is currently about to see that crossover from the 1348 EMA, and we already got that. Let me see that MACD crossing over with the 9-day moving average here, showing lots of green histograms, looking pretty bullish. Nice volume coming in, so it's looking a lot better than before, in my opinion, and it does look pretty darn bullish. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about is this right here, if I still have this, the Bollinger Bands, right? I often like to talk about Bollinger Bands. We saw this nice divergence that formed. They kind of closed in, showing that this thing was ready to actually start a reversal, and now we're starting to see them expand. You can see how they're expanding. This is a good sign that Tesla's about to see a very dramatic move, perhaps within the week, within a couple of trading days. I expect this thing to start rallying very, very, very hard. So going forward, let's just look at some other time frames real quick. On the 1-minute candles, you could see the way this thing is just bouncing between supports, and it looks pretty darn good. I'm going to be honest with you, we got a nice push at the very end, and we got that nice run to the 920 range, so it's looking a lot better. Other time frames like the 5-minute, you can also see something very similar, looking very, very good. So everything is pointing at the same direction, that this thing is getting ready to see some bullish price action, and it's looking pretty darn good. I mean, the last thing to look at is maybe like the dailies. We can actually look at how this looks over the macro scale. And from a macro perspective, as stated before, it's pretty oversold right now on the RSI. Let me actually bring up the RSI. Right now, it's close to that oversold territory, which means that it's very probable we're going to get a nice push to the upside very soon. So anyways, many indicators are suggesting the same thing. The chart looks bullish, and as stated before, I expect this thing to bounce very, very soon and get a nice run. So for tomorrow, the market's probably going to be choppy in the beginning. As Powell is speaking, be prepared for that. As the meeting starts, we might get a slight pullback. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing traded in the high 800s. Remember, we have key support at 870. And after the meeting ends, and I most likely believe they're going to announce a 50 basis point rate hike, Tesla should rally, the market should rally, everything should be fine. So that's what I have for this video. That's my prediction. I'm very, very bullish for the market. I think the next upcoming weeks are going to be very good. That doesn't mean it's going to, remain like this for the rest of the year, but I'm just saying that for the next few weeks it's looking good. And I'm pretty darn bullish for Tesla. So anyways, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day. I wish the best for each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.